Hi, I'm Jeff Peters. I play Bob Cutlass and Cal in the Cars movie.
Okay, that is great. Now, for those people who don't know, my Uncle Jeff here is actually a meteorologist, and that's why I chose him to be Cal, because Cal's last name is Weathers. And I just wanted to, irony. So, what would you? How many of the Cars movies have you seen?
I've seen 2 of them.
Like Cars 1 and Cars 2?
Yes.
So you haven't seen Cars 3?
I have not seen Cars 3.
Okay. Good thing you took up this role because Cal is a Cars 3 only character.
That's interesting.
Yeah. The Weathers family is based off of the Petty family, as in Richard Petty. Do you know who that is?
I do know who that is.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on Richard Petty?
Actually, maybe I don't know who that is.
That's embarrassing. He's like, oh crap! I just embarrassed myself in front of millions of people. He's like
race car driver.
Yeah, race car guy. He actually played the king, who is Cal's uncle in the original film. And the king in this is being played by my business partner, Evan Nichols. And, but what would you say it is about the Cars franchise that resonates with you? What would you say that Cars gives to the world?
I think it brings together the actors that portray each of the
characters, the characters,
the characters, each of the characters or characters that bring out each of the characters. And
why are you still saying it?
I don't know. Bring together the multi-generational
people
film.
Like you get people from like the golden age, such as like Paul Newman. You get people from like right there in the middle, such as George Carlin, and then you get people from more of our generation, such as like Owen Wilson and like Armie Hammer.
Right.
So yeah.
And you get people that are from your generation, Ryan, that enjoys the film, and then you get people from my generation and your dad's, and
you're from the same generation. You're twins,
right? And then from the grandparents' generation that can help play the parts. And
turns out that the directors and the producers of the first film said that the actors who play their characters are their characters. Like, for example, like they said, Mater is Larry the Cable Guy, Paul Newman is Doc, Owen Wilson really is a cocky version of Owen Wilson. Did I just say Owen Wilson was Owen Wilson?
Yes.
Oops. Well, yeah, okay. Owen Wilson, if he's acting cocky, is Lightning McQueen. So, yeah. And actually, let me ask you a little bit on that. What are your views on Owen Wilson? He's like Patrick in the one SpongeBob episode. I'll take we serve food here, sir.
I think he's a good actor. He can play multiple
kind of people.
Yeah, he's also good in.
I love him in Marley and Me.
In which one?
Marley and Me.
Oh yes.
Yeah. What are your views on Paul Newman, who played Doc Hudson?
Oh, he's really good. I mean, and also in Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, and just a whole variety of films from I think back in the 1940s and 50s all the way to when he played Doc.
Yeah, and
the sheriff.
Yeah. And what are your views on Bonnie Hunt? Or do you not know who that is?
She's very funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's very funny.
What about Katherine Hellman? Do you know her? She's from Everybody Loves Raymond. She's the mom.
Oh yeah, I like her a lot. She's a good actress.
You know Tony Shalhoub? Monk.
I think I do.
Monk.
Yeah,
Wings.
Yes, he's a good actor too.
Yeah, pretty amazing. Oh, what do you think of Michael Keaton?
Oh, he's really good.
Yeah, my favorite movie that Michael was ever in was this movie called Founder.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's based on the true story of how Ray Kroc stole the McDonald's company from the original founders.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And you know, back in like the early days of McDonald's, before like Happy Meals and like all the like fads started coming out, McDonald's actually was pretty good. It like
I think he's my favorite Batman.
Yeah, Adam West comes over. What did you just say?
Yeah.
Oh wait, Adam West is dead. Never mind.
And then you know about Michael Keaton's history with Mr. Rogers.
Yeah.
Running the trolley.
Wait, Michael Keaton was doing stuff with him?
Yes.
I thought that
Michael Keaton's from Pittsburgh.
Oh yeah. Tom Hanks did a pretty good job at playing Mr. Rogers.
Yes.
Speaking of which, what are your views on Tom Hanks?
Oh, I like him a lot.
Yeah, he's pretty great actor. My favorite film of his, next to, of course, Toy Story, is Forrest Gump. I love Forrest Gump.
Yep. How about Big?
Oh, Big's pretty good too. But like, did you hear about him and his wife Rita got tested positive for the coronavirus?
Yeah, they're in Australia.
Yeah, I actually made my drama teacher, Mr. Noble, laugh for the first time by like putting on an impression of him and be like, I remember the first time I got the coronavirus. I had to like, whenever I'm doing Forrest, I have to like slouch my back all the way. I want to like put myself into the body posture of the character in order to do the character. Oh, what are your views on Cheech Marin?
I haven't seen too many of his films.
But I kind of feel like you would know about Cheech and Chong.
I knew of them, but I didn't really watch too many of their films.
Mm. And what are your views on Bob Costas, who plays your character Bob Cutlass?
Watched. I did. Whenever he was good at newscaster.
Oh yeah,
sportscaster. I mean.
And do you know who Jennifer Lewis is?
Yes.
She's in Blackish.
Actress.
Yeah, she's also in this. Oh, do you know who Daryl Waltrip is?
I would probably. I don't know off.
He's like a sports announcer for Fox.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, he's kind of a loudmouth. Not in like the way of like he's a chatterbox, but like saying that he's literally a loud mouth.
Okay.
What do you think of old Al Sleek, the hippy dippy weatherman himself, George Carlin? God rest his soul.
Oh yeah, he's really good.
Yeah, my mom's
miss him.
Yeah, I miss him too. I love George Carlin. My a few of my favorite sketches of his is I recently watched his one where he was talking about vacationing, where you had to like pack something for everywhere you go.
Yeah.
Like I'm going when you go to this place and then you go to this place and each place you go has its own separate briefcase.
Yep.
And also this one resonates to you with you being a weather guy after all. The weatherman, the hippie weatherman. Actually, the character he plays in Cars, Fillmore, who, and agree with me on this, you know what kind of car the hippie character Fillmore is?
Volkswagen Bug?
Yeah, he's a Volkswagen bus. He's like a 60s Volkswagen microbus. How perfect is that? Although, like, there's this one line that Fillmore says in the PlayStation Portable version of the Cars video game. Whenever Fillmore gains a victory in the race, there's this one victory phrase he does that I absolutely love, and he says, and it completely references to his like pacifistic, peace-loving ways. He passes the finish line, winning, being the victor, and says, "I may have crossed the finish line first, but we're all winners on the inside, man." Like George Carlin brought that kind of like perfect stoner to Fillmore that I think not even Lloyd Sher, the current Fillmore, can do. And only a few other cast questions. Do you know what was your first car you ever drove?
Chevy Cavalier.
Oh, how did that treat you?
It was good.
Huh. What would you say is your favorite color of all time?
My favorite color for a car?
Oh yeah, just what would you, if you were to buy a car and you had the choice of getting a free paint job, what would you tell the painters? I'd probably paint.
Metallic.
Huh?
Blue metallic.
I'd probably have them paint like some tie-dye on my car, honestly. What would you say?
Candy apple. Candy apple red.
Candy apple red. What kind of car do you drive now?
I drive a Honda CR-V.
Huh, you suck. I'm just kidding. You know what kind of car I drive?
What do you drive?
Nothing. I don't have my license.
Nothing.
I don't even have my permit. I'm basically 18 and I don't have a license. In the comments section, you see, "This dude's stupid. He's 18 and doesn't have a license."
Ask your dad about the Plymouth. Ask your dad about the Plymouth Volare.
Oh yeah, he told me about the Plymouth Volare. Turns out that the Car Talk guys, Ray and Tom Malgazzi, who actually played two characters in the original Cars movie named Rusty and Dusty, Tom and Ray did this one episode of Car Talk where they went down the top 10 worst cars of the last millennium, and one of them was the Plymouth Volare. Or as they called it, the Dodge Aspen, although I didn't realize that it was two things. But what do you think of like the old, like Cutlass Oldsmobiles, like the old Chevy Oldsmobiles? Which is what Bob Cutlass is.
Those are nice cars. I actually had a what's that car? I can't think of it.
Oh no, he's getting senile.
Yes. I had a Buick Century.
Oh, okay.
That was a nice car.
Yeah. How much you bet that once I get my permit and my license, I'll probably just be driving my parents' car? Here I am, like, walking in the driver's ed, and they're asking me, what kind of car do you hope to drive whenever you grow up? And I'm like, and I'm just sitting there in the back, acting like an idiot, being like, a Prius. Don't forget about the lotion. And do you
the Nissan Leaf, the electric car?
Do you ever watch NASCAR?
I have a couple times, I
guess. Good comeback. But that wasn't a comeback. I don't know why I said that. Ever have one of those moments where you start speaking, then once you come to your senses, you're like, what am I talking about?
Yeah. I've driven past the Texas Motor Speedway.
Yeah. Oh, get this. There's this one dude who hired me for this Cars film, and in it, I actually came close to voicing Cal, but my audition was a bit too similar to someone else. Oh wait, no, it wasn't Cal, it was Dale Earnhardt Jr. Oh yeah. What would you say is your least favorite car of all time? Like, you look at a car and you say, I hate that thing. For me, it would definitely be the Yugo. I'd be like, that tiny little piece of Yugoslavian poop. Because that thing would, like, break down on the... Imagine, you're driving this tiny little box on wheels, this little this little steel box on wheels. You're going like 80 down the highway, or like however, like the top speed of the Yugo was, and then all of a sudden, like, it breaks down, and like it's like basically the Autobahn out there. How scary would that be? But what would you say is your least favorite car? You don't have to hate it, but you have to just look at the car and be like, I would never drive something like that unless if I had to.
Yeah, there was a car that looked like a box. I can't remember what the name of it was.
The Yugo?
No. It was actually shaped like a box, but I don't think it was a Yugo.
Box. Not boss. Box-shaped cars. The Scion?
Maybe, yeah.
The Scion XB or the Nissan Cube?
Yeah, the Nissan Cube.
Oh yeah, I hate the Cube, but I like Scion XBs.
Yeah, that's okay.
It's like, that's okay. But what car would you say is kind of just there? It's something you would drive, but it's something that you drive only once.
I think it's a Nissan Velocity or Veloster or something like that.
Oh, you know what Nissan car I hate? Besides the Cube? To see us, and there's like, I just find a bunch of like backlash from the Nissan fans in the comment section. For me, I hate the Nissan Silvia. And you know that kind of car Grandma Jill Grandma Jill has, that Pontiac Bonneville?
Yeah.
It honestly, it's kind of an ugly car. And now here she goes in the comments. What? I thought you liked my Bonneville.
Yeah.
I just realized everything that we say here is being recorded. So I'm putting this out onto YouTube. So run.
Bonneville probably has a lot of metal in it still.
Yeah, definitely. But I can't believe, but you're close to exceeding Jonathan's interview, because at the moment Jonathan, who is voicing Red in this, has the longest interview by 23 minutes. We're up to 20 minutes so far.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, is there anything else you'd like to say to the car-loving public before you actually head out? Oh yeah, wait, I got a question. Is it true, seeing how you live in Oklahoma, is it true that a tornado actually sounds like a diesel train going by?
It's the sound that the wind makes.
Mm-hmm.
So it's people say that it sounds like a freight train, or sometimes even like a jet engine.
And you have never been in... You have never actually encountered a tornado before, right? Close to your home.
I have not, no.
What would you do if you did?
We have a tornado shelter in our garage, in the floor.
Oh, okay. Kind of like a bomb shelter almost?
I don't know what a bomb shelter looks like.
A bomb shelter basically looks a lot like a tornado safety room. Kind of like what you have in your garage.
Yeah, ours is below ground.
Below ground.
Metal roof that slides, or metal.
Now, if there ever was a bomb threat in Norman, would you go into your tornado shelter?
Yeah, I guess we could use that for that.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have that here, but if we did, we would hella use it. Well, anyway, give us your sign off.
This is Bob Cutlass and Cal Weathers signing off.
I was just about to ask you to do the voices, but you did it right there, and I gotta start realizing that the voice that most of the family members do is their own damn voice.